Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of light and secret knowledge wherever you may be, you are listening to Points of Light Radio, the podcast dedicated to taking you past the apron and behind the closed doors of lodges everywhere. And here is your host, Stan Miller.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, ad nastana. It's a pleasure to be back with you here on Points of Light Radio. And it's an even bigger pleasure to be revisiting an organization that we haven't revisited in quite some time. I believe it's been over a year. It's hard to believe. Time flies so quickly. So, but like I said, always a pleasure to, touch base with these organizations when possible. And today's, the organization we will be revisiting in this particular segment of Points of Light Radio is the Loyal Orange Lodge. Like I said, been over a year. Hard to believe, but yes, it has been over a year. So let's, just for some insight, let's review what we already know. First of all, the Loyal Orange Lodge, or Orange Order, or Loyal Orange Institution, it goes by a number of names, is a sectarian organization that was founded in Loughgall, County Armagh, Northern Ireland in the year 1795. Now, as you've heard me say before, those dates are not necessarily reliable. There were Orange societies within Europe even before 1795. The Loyal Orange Lodge commemorates the victory of King William III, aka William of Orange, and his forces in Ireland in the 1690s, especially, of course, the Battle of the Boyne. We can't forget that. Now, to join, one must be a Protestant and a believer in the supremacy of Jesus Christ. The order is headquartered in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and they are one of the more storied organizations that are still in existence today. Now, there have been numerous key Orangemen down through the years here in Canada. Our first Prime Minister, Johnny MacDonald, was an Orangeman. We also know that Mackenzie Bull was an Orangeman. The last known Orange Prime Minister here in this country was, of course, Prime Minister John Diefenbaker, right? Now, who better to discuss the Loyal Orange Lodge than my buddy, my brother, Owen Snowdon, okay? Mr. Snowdon is a member of the Loyal Orange Lodge in England, and exciting news, he was recently made the Worshipful Master of his lodge. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see him again. So let's move forward with the interview, brothers and sisters. But as I always ask you, are you still thirsty for knowledge? Are you still searching for the light? Then you just trim your lamp and follow me. Brother Snowdon, welcome back to Points of Light Radio. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It sure has, yes. Stan?
Yeah, always great having you on here. Now, I understand you are a member of the Loyal Orange Lodge in the United Kingdom. It's been a while since we covered that journey, but as I understand it, you shared with me that you are the Worshipful Master of the Loyal Orange Lodge 264. First of all, congratulations on your new office. Secondly, where exactly is Loyal Orange Lodge 264 located?
So, Jonston Heroes 264, Jonston Heroes LOL 264, is based in Jarrow, Hebburn in Newcastle upon Tyne. It is part of the Northern Province of England's Orange Lodge. It is, we're quite an old lodge. We originate from, I believe, what a famous book, which is quite difficult to obtain, called Faith, Fraternity and Fighting. In that book, it tells you and explains from whatever records I could obtain from the Northern Province. It explains like where we originate and stuff like that. So Jonston Heroes used to be the Irish Immigrant Lodge, because in Hebburn, a lot of the time the Irish immigrants came out to work in the shipyards. So their lodge meeting met, I believe, down in the slums where the Irish immigrants lived. While the other lodge, which I'm an honorary member of, is Jonston here is Mongston True Blues 226, which met up was full of the English further up the road. We met in the pub.
Okay, so but you're still a member of the True Blues 266.
226. I am a honorary member of their lodge.
Okay, 226. So you're an honorary member, and like now this Hebburn is this something that has been reconstituted, or is it? Because I know you belong to, like I said, is this the lodge you joined in the first place? Shall we say?
Yes, it was the first ever Orange Lodge I joined. I'm a member of 3 Orange Lodges in that sense. I'm a member of Jonston Heroes 264, which I'm the Worshipful Master of.
Yeah.
I'm an honorary member of the Mongston True Blues 226 and a member of the 55th West Lancashire LOL 1915 Lodge.
And you're an honorary member of that one, you said? Or you are a full member?
No, I'm an actual paid-up member of that one.
Wow. Oof. Oh, your checkbook must hate you every year, don't they?
Just a bit.
Anyways, do you feel that the Orange are coming back to some degree? Is there a resurgence in it?
More certainly there is. There's, like many organizations, many fraternal organizations, we have ups and downs and times of when we grow massively and then struggle and decline. Like I said before, in a famous little book called Faith, Fighting and Fraternity, they have it explains and shows you records of when the Orange was at its peak, when it decreased, when it went back up, and it was like up and down constantly. And it all depends on the current political climate and people's current belief in the Protestant faith, which the Orange Institute is a keen it's a keen part of the Orange. It's what the whole Orange Order is based about, of course, with the Battle of the Boyne and stuff. But we are a Protestant organization. Yeah.
But I personally, because the reason I'm asking is I had this conversation. It's kind of strange. Actually, at the 12th of July with my Worshipful Master last year, I had this conversation, and we kind of agreed that we're never going to go back to that heyday of where it had as much influence as it did, at least here in Canada. But again, I don't think that was everything it's cracked up to be, because I'm in the process of reading through a book now about the Orange Lodge in the province of Nova Scotia here. And even in those days, they had a lot of members, but they used to kick people out for not paying their dues and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, you could run a bit heavy, but at the end of the day, were these guys showing up? Were they contributing? Right? I can honestly say almost everybody in my current Orange Lodge right now, and even the one I was in before that, anytime I've been in any lodges I've been in over here, any of the Orange Lodges, everybody contributes. If they're not huge, but everybody contributes, and does their part. So,
I personally believe it's important to have people contributing to the institute, but you also do need bums on seats.
Yes.
You do need certain people who will be there just to make numbers and stuff, but obviously hold our beliefs in strong tie with the Protestant faith. But to answer your question on the increase, I believe it is. There's been a couple of a lodge opened in Cumbria.
Good.
There's been the parades are growing every year in England. They're getting bigger and bigger. Some might say they're getting too big, but I think more the merrier. But another thing just to note on is when you said that about the influence the Orange had in Canada. I know a lot of many of your prime ministers have been Orangemen. At one point, to be anyway and politically involved in Canada, you had to be in the Orange. You had to be an Orangeman to have any say whatsoever on anything or to have any political position of authority in Canada.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, you did. But to me now, when we talk about this, I mean, how do you personally, for membership in the Orange, how do you approach people? Shall we say, like, I know we're supposed to wait for them to come and speak to us to be when you ask one, but we can't always wait. And sometimes I can't. I personally, the way I approach people, first of all, I try to get to know them, see how they're, shall we say, first of all, are they Protestant and so on, but also, I have business cards with my lodge's Facebook pages on there, email address, a phone number that they can. How do you approach people that might be good candidates, shall we say?
So for candidates and stuff, recently we have actually an application for someone to join our lodge recently. I won't say their name just in case they don't wish to be known. But on top of that, basically it's just a join and ask and join. But a lot of the time you've got to hold you must be a Protestant. There is a criteria, and if they meet that criteria, they've moved on to the next stage, which will be the interview, and then hopefully then become a candidate to join that, whichever lodge they wish to pick.
Mm-hmm. Very true, very true. Now, what is the makeup of the Loyal Orange Lodge 264? I did want to ask, I noticed on the Facebook page you have that eclectic mix of old and young members, which I think is wonderful.
Our lodge is a mixture. I'm probably one of the youngest masters of that lodge. Most of our lodges have been masters. There's a brother in that lodge who's been a master 18 times, which is great.
Wow.
Shows that he shows dedication to the institute. But I do believe that our lodge has. You're right. From what you've saw, is the lodge has a mixture, and I think that's good, because you get the young learning from the elders of that lodge, and them elders passing that knowledge, and the young, not just seeing the elders passing the knowledge, and the young passing that knowledge on as well, of modernization to the degree of technology, advertising, getting out leaflets, getting out Facebook posts, getting out just the message of Orangism is still alive and strong, and that it shall never die. And it's important that both opinions are heard in a lodge, and I believe that's very healthy in a lodge if both sides can have their input and have their say. And we are an organisation which stands for justice and liberty, and it's one of our core values is liberty. So at the end of the day, I do believe we all have a right and say, in a respected right and say on how a lodge should be run.
Yeah, and now you've been how long have you been a member of the Orange again?
Well, to start it off, I joined the REOB when I was about nearly 10 years ago. It's not been 10 years, it's nearly been. And then from there, I met a good brother who sadly passed away, a brother Mitch, or Michael, and I knew his son, and his son, I remember walking by his house and noticing the red hand of Ulster is flying proudly from his house. And I says, "Oh, is your, out of curiosity, is your dad in the Orange Order?" And he went, "Yeah, he is. Do you want to join?" And I says, "Totally. I've always wanted to join. I tried messaging you, but you didn't get back to us." And he went, "Oh, just ignore that. It'll just be, we've had problems with like emails or something." And I says, "All right." So I remember going upstairs and meeting this lovely old man sitting there on his chair, and he just says, "So I hear you're a buff as well." I says, "Oh yeah, I'm a member of the REOB. I'm a true loyal supporter." He says, "Are you a Protestant?" I says, "Oh, aye, proud Protestant as well." He says, "Brilliant." He says, so then he asked his son to step out the room. His son was very reluctant, but he says, "All right, Dad." He tagged off, and he put his hand out, and he says the handshake sign of the REOB first degree, which I did give, and we then recognised each other, which is a beautiful thing in these organisations.
Mm-hmm.
You could be anywhere in the world, and when someone puts that hand of friendship out or sees a certain sign or password, you know instantly they are your brother, they're your family, and that you have that camaraderie straight away, which I did, and I built up. And after that, I signed my application. I then went to my interview, And then I was eventually initiated into Jonston Heroes 264.
But what changes have you seen over, shall we say, a decade or so? What changes have you
Well,
seen in it?
what the changes I've seen is Grandmaster come and go, and I've seen changes in. I've seen this is going to sound controversial, but I've seen the militant side of the media portraying the Orange in a bad light. Recently, I've seen Orange Halls come under attack from due to sectarianism. At my heart in these organisations is to preserve the history as well, and like yourself, Stan Miller, with doing these podcasts, which I think are great. Hence why I come on your show so much, because you get the message out there that these organisations aren't cabals of secret society, or in the sense that like we're power hungry and all that. We're not. A lot of the time, these lodges are just groups which get together, have a few drinks, have a meal, do a few funny handshakes, few ceremonies, and then go home and have the wife moan at them for being in late.
But more than that, I mean, we want to preserve that history, but also to show that we are like you say, we're not just a bunch of, and I've said this in one of my podcasts there, or one of my segments, we're not just a bunch of people who meet in suits and then go home at the end of it, and you know what I mean, get in our cars and go home. We're a group of guys as well, like you say, that brotherhood. That's really the crux of it. That brotherhood, or in the case of some other organizations, the brotherhood and sisterhood of it, is huge. It's absolutely huge. And that's really what this is about. You know what I mean? We is the brotherhood aspect of it. We look after one another, and that's really what it's about. And that's really what I think I love about the Orange and about my lodge is after that meeting is over and we sit down in that basement and we light up cigars and have a drink, like you say, and it's just like that's really what it's about to me. It's
exactly building that bond of brotherhood and camaraderie. It's great. I think that's why a lot of the time a lot of ex-servicemen flood to these organisations because they miss that camaraderie.
Well, Brother Snowdon, I appreciate your time today. I'm going to let you go. I do have some other things I want to talk about with you, but all the best to you and your lodge. Thank you so much for your time today, brother. That was our old friend, Owen Snowdon, brothers and sisters, revisiting the Loyal Orange Lodge with us. Wasn't it great seeing him again? It's always great having him on here, hearing about what's going on with his fraternal orders. I love the fact that he's the worshipful master of his lodge as well. That's just great. And it was awesome revisiting the Loyal Orange Lodge. It really was. Time flies. Like I said, I can't believe it's been that long since we visited the Orange Lodge, and not for lack of trying. I'm going to be honest with you. I send invites out all the time, brothers and sisters. Whether I get answers or whether I'm out and out turned down, hey, it's just one of those things. What can I say? Right? But it was, like I said, awesome as well to hear that the Orange has opened a new lodge in Cumbria, in the United Kingdom. I think that's great. The Orange moves forward. Fraternalism in general is moving forward. If there's one message I keep getting consistently, it's that the fraternalism is moving forward, right? And I think that's great. I am going to try to visit some Canadian Loyal Orange lodges this year, and hopefully, with any luck, we'll actually be able to feature the Orange Lodge that there is in the States. I have actually sat in lodges, not down in the States, but up here in Canada, with members of the Loyal Orange Lodge from the United States. I've heard some stories about what their lodges are like. Apparently there's one down around Las Vegas as well. But I'd love to feature them. I really would. And we will definitely be having Mr. Snowdon back here to talk about his literary works as well as some of the other lodges he belongs to. But That's all I have time for today, brothers and sisters. Before I go, I want to remind you that this podcast is available on both YouTube and Spreaker. Please share, like, and subscribe when viewing Points of Light Radio on YouTube. I also welcome your comments and input. You can see the link to my PayPal. You can see that link from my PayPal that you can go to. You can hit on that link and make a voluntary donation to this podcast, and we will use that to move Points of Light forward. You can see the link, my Facebook link. That my Facebook is facebook.com/Points of Light Radio. You can see the link to my Twitter handle. You can also see the link to my Bluesky account that I have now. On my Bluesky, brothers and sisters, we're moving forward. Fraternalism moves forward, so do I. You can also see the link to my Spotify channel, as well as my Points of Light Radio store. Brothers and sisters, until we meet again, just step into the light.